look, the speeches were so good, they had me almost believing they're progressive. Look, to that point, let me go to one of Deval Patrick's clips here. Go to clip 5 here.
And we believe that government has a role to play, not in solving every problem in everybody's life, but in helping people help themselves to the American dream. That's what Democrats believe. That's what Americans believe. And if we want to win elections in November and keep our country moving forward, if we want to earn the privilege to lead, my message is this: it's time for Democrats to grow a backbone and stand up for what we believe.
Yes, sir. That got about a 15-second standing ovation. Now, why did he get that? Because people are tired of Democrats running. And here's a guy, and in fact, the entire Democratic Party on that first day of the convention saying, we're done running. You're not coming for us anymore. We're coming for you. Oh, if they only mean it. If only they mean it, right? So themes emphasized throughout the day: opportunity. They said, look, sometimes the government needs to do an investment so that everybody can have opportunity, not just the rich. Julian Castro talked about, hey, listen, Romney was at an event in Ohio and told students, hey, if you want to start your own business, go get a loan from your parents. And he paused and he said, gee, why didn't I think of that? Like, of course, if your parents are rich, it's super easy, but we need opportunity for the rest of us. And they mentioned, the different speakers did, how they got help by Pell Grants, the GI Bill, sometimes welfare, etc., because they needed a hand up. It's not just a line, it's a reality for so many Americans. And then what happened? Investment turned into opportunity, turned into prosperity. All those people succeeded with that hand up. They made that point over and over. They talked about how government investment sometimes helps all of us. Did you know that the government helped to build the Golden Gate Bridge? If the Republicans were in charge, now you couldn't get from one side of San Francisco to another. They'd be like, oh, geez, I'm learning more. So how are we going to get in? I don't know. I wish somebody had built a bridge. Okay, I mean, one of dozens, hundreds of examples. And then they talked about work and the value of hard work. You know how the Republicans have that terrible, ugly lie about, oh, Obama wants to take the work part of welfare out, right? In other words, oh, they just want a handout. They don't want to work for it. Every single speaker came out there today and talked about how hard their family worked to get to where they were. And then they had the message of staying together. And they kept saying it over and over. If we're just by ourselves, it's much harder. And we don't have to do that way. We can be a community. We can be a family. We can do this together. And what was interesting symbolically is that in the crowd were all the politicians. Deval Patrick, before he spoke, after he spoke, would be in the crowd. You'd see Sherrod Brown, wasn't speaking. He was there. Vice President Biden, not speaking. He was there throughout. And you would see them. The Republican politicians, you never saw them with the crowd. I don't remember a single shot of a Republican politician among the delegates on the floor, because that's not what they do. They go on yachts. They go behind the scenes. They hang out with the donors. Here was the Democrats saying it and acting upon it, staying together. And I thought it was incredibly effective. And as I looked at it, and I thought, geez, I sure hope they mean what they say here, because if they legislate and they act based on the speeches I saw last night, they would actually be progressive, and they would help the middle class of this country so much more. Of course, as we know, unfortunately, in President Obama's first term, the banks were helped a lot. That financial reform that they talked about in some of the speeches was tiny and nearly irrelevant. It was not historic. It has not reined the banks in. The homeowners have not been helped. So the real question that comes out of this convention, as they are doing a brilliant political job, is, do they get their own message? And if they do, in the next 4 years, they legislate this way, terrific. Then I would look forward to voting for them. Or are they pulling the wool over our eyes again? Now, remember in 2008, there was a lot of hope and change. And remember, before the election, President Obama sounded like the world's biggest progressive. Here we are again before an election. And both sides trying to look more progressive. The Democrats look like they're the most progressive party in the world. And in fact, they came out over and over in the speeches talking about gay marriage. They're like, we're not running anymore. Yes, we believe in gay marriage, and we're proud of that. And we think we represent the American people. Now, there was some progress in those 4 years, obviously repealing of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military, the president coming out and saying he's in favor of gay marriage. So we had some progress. Obviously, health care, it's a mixed bill, but it's a lot better than the nothing that the Republicans have done for decades and decades. So part of me says, as so many of the speakers alluded to, let him finish the job. The other part of me says, don't get overexcited. We have heard this before, and somehow when they get back into office, money rules again. So we're going to have to wait and see. We know the right path is not Romney. He just says money rules us. He said corporations are people, my friend. And he says my energy policy is going to be the one the oil companies told me to do. 2 days before I released my energy policy, I met with them, and I'm giving you exactly what they want. So we know the answer isn't Romney. We know the answer isn't the Republicans. The only question that remains is it the Democrats? There's only one way to find out.